Let's start learning grammar. In this video, we will learn finite verbs. This is the second part of verbs. In the previous video, we had learned what is a verb, what is the function of a verb in a sentence. Then we learned about basic sentence structure, that is subject plus verb plus object. This is the most common, or you can say basic English sentence structure, where subject is who or what the sentence is about. Verb means what the subject does or what the subject is. And object is a person or thing that is affected by the action of a verb. Then we talked about the two main types of verbs, that is finite and non-finite verbs, where we understood that finite verbs are the verbs which act as verbs and change according to time, person and number. On the other hand, non-finite verbs are those verbs which do not act as verb and do not change according to time, person and number. In this video, we will only talk about finite verbs. In the previous video, we had also discussed that the finite verbs are of three types: main verbs, linking verbs and auxiliary verbs. We also got some idea about all these verbs and we came to know that main verbs, which are also called the lexical verbs or the principal verb, is the most important verb in a sentence because it typically shows the action. They can make the listener or the reader feel emotions, see scenes more vividly and accurately. Now, these main verbs, which are action verbs, can be divided into four different types: transitive, intransitive, regular, and irregular. Let's understand them one by one. First of all, let's talk about transitive and intransitive verbs. To understand these two verbs, we should know the basic sentence structure, that is subject plus verb plus object, because transitive verbs must have a direct object, that is it needs an object to make complete sense. It demands something or someone to be acted upon. For example, if I say I painted, here the verb paint demands an object to be painted. So I will add an object, the bike, to make the meaning more clear. But in intransitive verbs, they do not act upon anything. They may be followed by an adjective, adverb, preposition, or another part of speech. For example, she sings melodiously. Here, the verb sing is followed by an adverb melodiously, and the meaning of the sentence is complete. So, the verb sing does not require any object to make complete sense. I hope now you have understood that subject plus intransitive verb is sufficient to make a complete sentence, but subject plus transitive verb is not sufficient to make complete sentence because transitive verbs demand or require an object. Now, let's talk about another category of main verbs, that is regular and irregular verbs. In order to use many verb tenses in English, we need to know the past form of the verbs. All verbs have a base form. The majority of verbs which are called regular verbs, they follow the same pattern and create their simple past and past participle just by adding ed, the or ter in the end. For example, walk, walked, walked. Burn, burned, burned. So we have just added ed at the end of this base form of verb walk to make its simple past and past participle. Similarly, we have just added ed and ter with the base form of verb burn to make its simple past and past participle form. There are, however, verbs that have different endings, and these are called irregular verbs. Now, they form their simple past and past participle in four different ways. First, they do not change, that is, all the three forms are same. For example, hit, hit, hit. We have not made any change in the spelling of this word to make its simple past and past participle. Secondly, by changing in middle. For example, become, became, become. Then we have third type of irregular verbs. They change once. Buy, bought, bought. And the fourth type of irregular verbs include those verbs which change twice. Go becomes went when we talk about simple past tense, and it becomes gone when we talk about past participle of base form of go. Now let's talk about another kind of finite verbs, that is linking verbs. Now these verbs links the subject with the noun or adjective that describes it. As you can see in the example, she is a nurse. Here the verb is a linking verb because it links the subject she with the noun nurse. Similarly, if we look at the another example, she looks beautiful. Here the verb look is a linking verb because it is linking the subject she with an adjective beautiful. So this is how linking verbs, they link the noun with the subject or the subject with an adjective. Now let's talk about third type of finite verbs, that is auxiliary verbs. Now these are also known as helping verbs. Why they are called helping verbs? Because they help the main verbs to express time, mood and possibility of the action. Now we can divide these auxiliaries into primary and modal auxiliaries. First of all, let us understand primary auxiliaries. Now these auxiliaries can be used as main verb or they can be used as helping verbs. They help the main verb to express voice, tense or mood. These are divided into be form, have form and do form. So we have three forms of primary auxiliaries. When we talk about be form of verbs, they include words like is, am, are, was, were, being, been and will be. For example, football is being played by him. Here the primary auxiliary is being, is expressing or helping the main verb play to express the passive voice. Then we have another category of primary auxiliaries that include have form, and this category include words like has, have, had, having or will have. As you can see in the example, I have completed my work. Here the auxiliary have is used with third form of complete and is expressing the perfect tense. And the last category of primary auxiliary includes do form of verbs, which include words like do, does, did, will do. And here in the example, you can notice that the word, the auxiliary did, is expressing the interrogative mood of the verb go. Now, let's talk about modal auxiliary verbs. Now, these auxiliaries include verbs like will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, ought to, used to, need, dare, etc. Now, these verbs combine with other verbs to express ideas such as necessity, possibility, intention, and ability. Here, in each example below, the highlighted verbs should, may, can are modal auxiliaries because they express obligation, probability, and ability. I hope you have understood all the finite verbs, that is, main verbs, linking verbs, and auxiliary verbs, which include various types: transitive, intransitive, regular, irregular, primary auxiliary, and modal auxiliaries. In the next video, we will understand non-finite verbs in detail. So keep watching and keep learning.